The world is not your garbage can, people. Trash. It is everywhere. I live in New York City and I cannot even set foot outside without being entirely surrounded by plastic wrappers, plastic bottles, and a whole bunch of garbage. And it still blows my mind to discover that people in 2019 are throwing garbage on the street, just tossing it out of their car or out of their hand on their walk somewhere. I have never littered in my life, at least not intentionally. I guess it's possible that one time I put something into a garbage can and then it blew out onto the street and became litter, but I've never contributed knowingly to the litter on the street. But I'm just entirely flabbergasted at the thought of someone just taking a wrapper of something they've eaten and throwing it to the wind. Garbage. It seems that in 2019, the word sustainability has become somewhat of a buzzword, which is a great thing. I began making videos about zero waste and zero plastic back in 2016, and even though I am not 100% zero waste by any means, I am constantly trying to lower my impact and produce as little trash as possible. Oftentimes, video ideas just come to me out of the blue, so sometimes it will be when I'm meditating and thinking and actually trying to come up with an idea, but other times I'll just be walking down the street and I will see something that will trigger an idea for a video. And in this case, it is the trash. The other day, I was out and about walking down the street and I was completely shocked at how much trash was on the sidewalk. It was almost as if someone had taken an entire trash can and dumped it onto the sidewalk. This is especially alarming to me because living in a city like New York, which is a coastal city, storm drains lead directly to the ocean. So that means that if there's garbage and plastic in the street, any single time it rains, that's gonna head straight into the storm drain, which is then going to be emptied out into the ocean and kill all the fish and kill all the animals. Scientists are already estimating that by the year 2050, we will have more plastic and trash in our oceans than fish. What? Obviously, we've got a problem, and obviously I'm just one person, so I'm not gonna turn the whole world around with this one video, but I am hoping that this video inspires you to make a little change or do something good in your neighborhood. Yesterday, I put myself to the test. I was curious if I went outside onto the streets of New York City for just 3 to 4 hours, how many bags of trash could I collect? It was a simple question. I went along with my assistant because I wanted to take a friend with me and she knows a whole lot about plastic and recycling and what goes in what bag, so I knew she'd be a great asset for this trip. Plus, she really wanted to help out. We gathered all of the necessary supplies, which included different types of garbage bags, recycling bags, a garbage grabber, gloves, and then we got prepped by tying some of the garbage bags onto my backpack so that I didn't have to hold everything as we hit the streets. That's it. We are ready to hit the streets. See you in Manhattan. A burrito, yum.
Put your poop away, people.
What size is it? Maybe it fits Michael.
That's very alarming.
You're a winner. Do you want Coke? No? Okay. Subways are for another day. Not sure what that was. We found a lot of really random things. I found a plastic rhino. This is kind of cool. I think I might keep it. Not sure what that was about. A ton of receipts. One was for over $2,000 of alcohol. 15 kegs!
Wow.
And receipts are not recyclable, by the way. Surprisingly, we did not find as many plastic bottles as we thought we would find, which is a great sign. I think the most surprising thing to me was how much paper was just blowing around on the sidewalk. Some of it was pamphlets from stores, some was magazine paper. I don't even know where this paper came from, but I would say the bulk of what we picked up was paper. We found a couple of crushed Coke cans, and then we even found one Coke can that was fully intact and actually closed. And I offered it to a Pepsi driver.
Do you want a Coke?
No? Okay, me neither. In New York City, there are a lot of these garden areas, so little areas on the side of the street that are sort of fenced off with a tree in the middle, or actually little garden areas up against some of the buildings that have fences. And I found that a lot of the trash we found today was thrown into these gardens. So we did a lot of digging around in grass and greenery and shrubbery to get a lot of that garbage out. I didn't expect this to happen, but we got thanked on the street by 3 random people who were just passing by. One person said, "Thank you so much for doing that," and just walked by. Another person said, "Thank you for your service," as if I'm in the army or something. And it was amazing to see that people on the street were actually really grateful when they saw someone helping to clean up the trash in their neighborhood. One area where we had the most difficulty was this puddle of water that was just filled with garbage. And it was actually right at the corner of the street next to the storm drain, so if we hadn't cleaned that area out, that was headed for the fish. I was really grateful to do this with a friend because obviously working with another person, I was able to collect double the amount of garbage as I would have been able to get on my own. And it was just a great opportunity for the 2 of us to bond together. So yes, we were picking up trash, but we were also having some deep conversations and laughing and catching up. And I think this is a great thing for you to go do with a friend sometime soon because it's a total relationship building activity while you're doing something great for your community. By the end of the day, we had picked up, drum roll please, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 bags of trash. 3 were recyclable, 3 were not. To break it down further for you, 1 of those was plastics, which included the plastic bottles, 2 were filled with recyclable paper, and 3 were plain old garbage. Ew. We tied them all off and we put them on the side of the street where the trash and recycling collection was going to be coming the following morning. The day we went outside and did this, I'm telling you, it was so freezing outside that I'm convinced we could have gotten a lot more trash if we weren't quite as frozen solid. I felt like my hands weren't moving well or clamping the grabber properly because I was so cold, and I think if we maybe go out and do this in the spring or in the summer when it's a lot warmer outside, we will be able to stay out for longer and thus we'll be able to pick up more trash. But because we were so cold when we got home, my assistant, my photographer, and I put our feet in a hot bath and defrosted our toes. We are definitely going to do part 2 of this video because we had so much fun together and we do want to see how much of an impact we can have in the future. But I would love some of your suggestions, if you have any, for any cool things that we can maybe do with the trash and recycling instead of just tying it up and leaving it for the collectors. One cool idea that I had, which would have been really cool if I had some more time for this video, would be to find a local artist that we can collaborate with and maybe bring that person the bag of recyclable bottles that they can make into some cool art installation. But definitely comment below and let me know if you have any more ideas about what we can do with this stuff. Another cool idea could be bringing the bottles in and getting some cash in exchange and then donating that cash to an environmental conservation agency, something like that. So comment below and let me know if you have any cool ideas for what we can do with this stuff that we collect in the future. I just want to call out, this video was mainly just to see how much trash I could collect on the streets of New York City with a friend in a few hours, and I know that it's not saving the world. The major thing that I took away from all of this is that we were able to collect a bunch of garbage in just a few short hours. So imagine how much garbage can be saved from winding up in the storm drains and in the ocean if everyone out there just picked up a little bit of trash on their way to work today. The next time you're outside and you see something on the street, pick it up and put it in a bin. And better yet, schedule a whole day with a friend to go outside, put some gloves on, take a garbage bag, and see how much garbage you can take off the streets. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I hope this inspires you to do something good for the environment today. Comment below and let me know what other videos you want to see from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.